Haripati, Ivan. So we are going to start to discuss the model paper 7, right? Okay. I hope you have answered it, right? You understand better if you have answered it. And so we have like the exam isn't postponed, right? So we have only like less than 20 days to go. If I say exactly how many days are there? 6. So if we took it up to 10, that will be 16 to 17 days. So yeah, you have 16 to 17 days to go, and you have to, study really hard, and things will be easy if you studied really well, studied really hard. Then this is something doable. And if you are in a level of C, if you are in a level of C, try your best to lift it up to at least a B. And if you're in a level of a B, you can definitely go to A because there's a small gap there. So try your maximum to lift it up to A because this is a lifetime opportunity, and this won't come back, right? Things you'll be getting by passing your A levels. The most important thing is the respect you earn, the pride. Because when you pass your exams with a huge, let's say a district rank or island rank, or with a good result, that's sort of a respect you're earning there, and that'll be there for a lifetime. And things will be also different, things will be easy, and hopefully life will be different after this, right? And so to gain that, you have to work on it, you have to be committed, you have to put some efforts. So let's try our best, right? So it's only 14 days, and none of the students have faced the exams. So there's still a chance, right? None have faced the exams yet. There's still a chance, there's still a hope. Study well, study really hard, earn your place, right? Okay, and if you haven't studied anything, we have done so much of the things. I have put everything public, not everything. Most of the things I have put public for the help of the other students. And if you haven't done anything yet, just you put me a text, a WhatsApp message or something, it's okay. If you don't come to my class, even that's fine. Just put me a text and go through all the fast revisions and go through the theory lessons that are necessary for those who haven't done anything yet. They are in a low level. Go through the fast revisions, go through the question banks, follow the model paper questions and the past paper discussions we did. And when you finish all that, you'll be somewhat fine, you'll be somewhat fine. If you're in a C level, you can definitely go lift it up to a B. If you're in a B level, you can definitely lift it up to a A. But when you do those things, remember, do the papers by your own self first and go through the answers we have discussed. Get what are the things you got wrong, analyze them, why you got them wrong in the first place, and if you have anything to cover, study them, right? And if there are any of the things that you can't cover by yourself, like you haven't done it even at least once, maybe a lesson you didn't study at all, or even there in the class when the lesson was taught, my advice is take a individual class, or if you have a friend, a very good friend who can teach you that, go to that friend. Or if there's a good teacher who you can ask for the personal tutoring, go for the person and cover it as much soon as possible. And don't try to waste your energy if you haven't studied anything yet, because that will ruin everything, because it takes a lot of effort to understand something you don't understand yet, because you are trying to do it by your own self as well. So don't do that. Either my advice is go for an individual class, or go for a friend, or go for your own teacher and cover it with the support of them, right? Is the best thing, because you will lift up your grades, if you will lift up your marks, your Z, everything, if you do that, and your energy will be saved. That energy you can put it to something that you've been already working on, and you can improve that result better than now. And if you started to do something that you didn't do, all the other results that you have already improved will also go down. So that happens. That's the nature of it. And it's getting closer anyways, and there's a level everyone can go depending on the energy they have, depending on the luck they have, depending on their, let's say, the karma or any of the things. There's a limit we all can go. You can exceed it, you can overcome it if you have the willpower, but you should know the enough as well. So once you understand this is the best I can do, that's okay. Don't get depressed on the things that you can't do, and on the things you had a chance to do but couldn't do. Don't depress on that. Know you're enough. Finish it for the energy that you have, and settle down, and be okay with everything, and face your exams in a very relaxed mind state. Because if you are depressed, or if you are feeling so much of a pressure with the exams, best thing is just try to cool down, because with a cool mind, with a relaxed mind, everything will be better and easier to solve than being in a fed mind and a depressed mind. I hope you understand it, because when you're going to the exam, you should be really relaxed. So we have done a lot, we have done a really lot, and that is enough. Don't worry, right? That is more than enough, right? So we have done what is necessary, and we have done I have done what is necessary for you, and I have done extra than necessary, right? So you will be okay, right? So don't worry, do the best you can do, and we'll see what will be the results, right? So come to the questions quickly. Right, so the first question, the organelle that contributes to the movement of bacterium is the locomotion is what? Microvilli, cilia, volvox, flagella, and villi. Is a flagellum, right? Flagellum is used for the locomotion of the microorganisms. Right, come to the second question. Consider the following statements regarding mitochondria. Can only be seen in eukaryotic cells. True. Mitochondria only can be seen in eukaryotic cells. It is a double membrane organelle, of course. So there are few of the double membrane organelles which we discussed under the microbiology 3. We discussed that there's this engulfment of a bacteria became established inside another bacteria and became mitochondria. An engulfment of another cyanobacteria became established inside another bacteria, and it was the chloroplast or the chlorophyll. It was lately established as the chlorophyll inside the bacteria, and likewise the nucleus is also one of like that. So all those things that were engulfed and established inside a bacteria cell, were double membrane organelles, right? So mitochondria, then the chloroplast, then the nucleus, they are all double membrane organelles, right? So yeah, of course, mitochondria is a double membrane organelle. C, provides the necessary energy for the cell through cellular respiration. Even that is true. So three of the statements are true. All A and B and C, right? All A, B, C are true, right? And third question. Which of the following is not a nitrogen fixing bacterium, right? Which of the following is not a nitrogen fixing bacterium? Right. So cyanobacteria is, of course, nitrogen fixing bacterium, acidobacter is, but the penicillium is not even a bacteria. Penicillium is a fungus, right? Penicillium is a fungus. So the answer is supposed to be 3, because penicillium is not even a bacteria, it's a fungus. It is producing penicillium, which we use as an antibiotic, right? Penicillin. A characteristic feature that cannot be seen in a monocotyledonous plant is, the characteristic feature that cannot be seen in a monocotyledonous plant, right? The plant body is branch. No, not in the monocotyledon ones. No. Fibrous root system. Well, that cannot be seen in monocotyledons. So they have a taproot and a fibrous root system. What do you say? This is wrong, right? Leaves have a parallel venation. That is not monocot. Flowers are trimerous, parts in multiples of 3. No. Stems are unbranched. This is somewhat true, right? A characteristic feature that cannot be seen in a monocotyledonous plant. They're asking something that cannot be seen, right? Cannot be seen. Feature that cannot be seen in a monocotyledonous plant. Okay. The plant body is branch. That is wrong. So cannot be seen in a monocotyledonous plant. Fibrous root system. Fibrous root system is there. Even these all things are correct, right? Fibrous root system correct. Leaves have parallel venation. Yes, these are correct, right? And flowers are trimerous or in multiples of 3. Even that is correct. I'm sorry, these are all correct. So I was thinking about the dicotyledonous plant and answered it. So stems are unbranched. Yeah, these are all correct. So the only wrong answer is the plant body is branch, because in monocot plants, the plant body is not branched, right? The plant body is not branched. Right. So come to the fifth question. A division to which the organism mucor belongs. So this is an extra question because this is out of the syllabus. So previously, before the 2019, we had this fungi classification to the phylums. So we don't have those phylums now. So the division to which the organism mucor belongs is actually to it's like all the other things are bryophyta are plants, annelida are like the worms, mollusca is like the snail and all. Zygomycota and ascomycota are the only 2 phylums there. Out of that, mucor is belonging to zygote, which we have 8 ascomycota. It's actually ascomycos, but this is out of the syllabus, so this won't be coming to your exams, right? Select the incorrect statement regarding the proteins out of the following statements. Proteins contains carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and sulfur elements. That is true. Sulfur is not there as a must, but if we come to the true the novel sciences, it says like there are codons, something called codons. A stop codon, a start codon is there. So like almost all the proteins start with the start codon of cysteine, which is an amino acid contains sulfur. So it is not wrong to say the sulfur is there in all the proteins, but as per the syllabus, basically carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen are there. Apart from that, sulfur is also there, right? So somehow select the incorrect statement regarding the proteins. So somehow we can take it as true, but we'll keep it because of the sulfur. Of course, the sulfur should be there, right? The molecular mass of protein is high. Yes, because they are polymers, right? Proteins are natural polymers, yes. The structural unit of protein is amino acid. Yeah, that is also correct. Proteins can be identified by the Sudan 3 test. No. Sudan 3 is there to identify the availability of lipids, right? Availability of lipids. To identify the proteins, you use basic medium copper sulfate, which is you called I don't know, things don't come to my mind now. So it's something very much should be in your mind. Viral test, right? The things don't come to my mind now because I'm a bit excited now. Excited actually, but yeah. So things seems to be coming slowly to my mind right now because I'm a bit not well, and if you can support with the answers, it will be really nice, right? So I'll try to do my best. 7. The amount of calcium oxide molecules obtained from the decomposition of 2 metric tons of calcium carbonate each. So I had to have 2 metric tons of calcium carbonate, and they asked me the amount of calcium oxide molecules obtained from the decomposition of 2 metric tons. So metric ton is like 1000 kilograms, and calcium carbonate decomposition is something like this. Calcium carbonate heated up converts into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. This is what happens, right? And they are telling you that there's 2 metric tons of calcium carbonate, which is 2000 kilograms, and they're asking amount of calcium oxide moles obtained from the decomposition. They're asking number of moles of calcium oxide. So it's stoichiometry basically. So stoichiometry is 1:1 anyways, right? It's 1:1 anyways, right? So the amount of calcium carbonate moles is equal to the amount of calcium oxide moles. So what you have to do actually is to find the number of moles of calcium carbonate that will equal to the calcium oxide moles. So how do you find the calcium carbonate number of moles? That is N equals M over M, mass over molar mass. So now mass is how much? It's 2000 metric tons, right? It's 2000 metric tons. If you converted it into grams, that will be 2 into 10 to the power 6. That will be 2 into 10 to the power 6 grams, right? Because 2000 kilograms, when you convert it to the grams, you have to multiply it by 1000. 3 zeros, another 3 zeros, together becomes 10 to the power 6. Divide by the molar mass of calcium carbonate. Do you know the molar mass of calcium carbonate? It's not given. So we have to find it. So they're supposed to give you the relative molar masses. Have they given it? They have given it. Calcium 40, carbon 12, oxygen 16. So let's find it out. Calcium carbonate molar mass, capital M. So that will be 40 plus 12 plus 16 into 3. 16 into 3 is 48. 12 is 60. 40 is 100. So altogether 100 grams per mole is there, right? 100 grams per mole is there. So the molar mass is 100 grams per mole. So I'm going to put it here. So if you divide these two, you get the number of moles. That would be how much? 2 of the zeros will cancel out. That is 2 into 10 to the power 4, which is 20,000 moles, right? So number of moles of calcium carbonates in 200 kilograms of calcium carbonate is, number of moles in 200 kilograms of calcium carbonate is 20,000 moles. And the stoichiometry of calcium carbonate and calcium oxide are equal. So the number of moles of calcium oxide is also 20,000. So that's 20,000 moles. 20,000 moles, right? 8. X solid converts into X gas. That is, hold on. Why aren't things coming so fast to my mind now? So X solid converting into X gas is called sublimation. Yeah, sublimation. It comes really slow. I don't know why. Anyways, so it's sublimation, converting solid directly into the gas, right? So I know usual things, right? So the question is, solid is converted into the gas. The option that correctly shows the phase change represented above, and whether it absorbs or releases the heat. So absorb or release the heat, how do you find it? This is the theory. Think about the kinetic energy of two of the things, solid and gas. So gas has more kinetic energy, solid has less kinetic energy. So now here the gas is the product, solid is the reactant. So when the reactant becomes, when the reactant converts into the product, if the product has more energy and the reactant has less energy, it is endothermic reaction, right? The products have less energy, reactants have more energy, it is endothermic reaction, because the products have gained energy to become the product, right? So if you compare the kinetic energy, of course, this has more kinetic energy, this has less kinetic energy, because if it is a state transfer, always compare the kinetic energies, which has more kinetic energy, because its molecular like the molecular formula won't change, only the state of energy will change, more kinetic energy, less kinetic energy. So think it in the terms of that. So the gas has more kinetic energy, solid has less kinetic energy, which means the product has more energy than the reactant, so the energy is absorbed. So it's a endothermic reaction and it's a sublimation. Okay, sublimation and heat absorption is the answer, right? Sublimation and the heat absorption is the answer. Okay. 9. Consider the reaction 3A converts into 2B plus C. Okay. The rate of disappearance or the consumption of A during this reaction is X. The rate of consumption of A is X. So the question they are asking is the rate of production of B. So 3A converts into 2B plus C, and they are asking, first before that they are saying the rate of consumption of A is X. They are asking rate of production of B. So if we compare this, A and B stoichiometric ratio is 3 to 2. If one is reacting, amount of B that is producing, if it is 3 to 2, 1 to 2 over 3, because to make this 1 you have to divide it by 3, right? So you have to divide this by 3 as well. So if it is 3 is to 2, it should be 1 is to 2 over 3. So which means for a 1 mole of A, 2 over 3 moles of B is produced. So if it is 1 is to 2 over 3, how much is 2x? Acharata mechcharanam x valata kochcharada. That is acharata mechcharai x valata. So it should be 2 over 3 into x, right? So you have to multiply this by x. This will become x then. X times 1 is x. So you have to multiply this by x as well. So that will be 2 over 3x, right? Acharata mechcharanam mechcharata kochcharada. It's a simple one. 10. Come to this one. Equal volumes of H2O2 were added to 2 separate test tubes and a few drops of NaOH solution were added to 1 test tube. Okay. Then the gas evolved from the reaction inside the test tubes was tested. The gas observed here was hydrogen. No, oxygen. Yeah, it's oxygen. Right? Because H2O2 breaks into H2O plus half O2, and the balance equation will be 2H2O. To remove this half, you'll have to multiply the whole thing by 2. So this multiplied by 2, that is 2H2O2 into 2H2O plus O2. So the immersed or the released, immersed, the gas released is actually O2, oxygen. It's easy, too easy, right? Select the statement that is most correct regarding the polymers. Okay. Polythene is formed by condensation, polymerization. So there are two types of reactions that occur in polymers. One is condensation, and what is the other one? Addition. Good thing the answer is there, right? So otherwise it will be later. It will be lating like to come to my mind. So there are two types of course, methods of polymerization when it comes to the reactions. One is condensation. Condensation is something related to removal of water, HCl, or sort of a molecule when the reaction occurs, right? Very good examples are the natural polymers, of course. Carbohydrates, lipids, proteins. When they are polymerizing, two of the molecules are binding together and a water molecule is released. That's a condensation reaction. Remember that. Right? If you don't know it, remember that. When almost every biomolecule, like lipid, carbohydrate, protein, when they react, a water molecule is removed. Sometimes in other reactions, it could be something like a HCl molecule or something. One example is PVC. Right? In PVC, there's polyvinyl chloride, and the chlorine molecule is removed binding with hydrogen. So that's a condensation reaction. So because of that, in PVC production, as a byproduct, HCl is produced. So they use that byproduct as another product. So when the reaction occurs, if something is released like HCl, as we discussed here, it's a condensation reaction. Remember that. Huh? I'll show it to you. So polyvinyl chloride, right? Polyvinyl chloride, PVC. This is how it reacts, right? So when the reaction occurs, right? When the reaction occurs, right? When the reaction occurs, one of a hydrogen, right? One of a hydrogen and a chlorine molecule is like bonded and released as HCl. And when this happens, this bond is formed, right? So when the bond is forming, one HCl molecule is released, right? When the bond is forming, one HCl molecule is removed, right? So now the new molecule will be something like this. So this will continue with the other molecule as well. So likewise it goes on. So this is called condensation. One of a molecule is removed. Even in biomolecules, the water molecule is removed. This is called a condensation reaction. If it is an addition polymer, right? If it is an addition, come to this part. Something like polyethylene, as we discussed in the question. They have double bonds, right? This is called addition polymers. All the addition polymers have double bonds. So the reaction occurs through the double bond. Get it? Reaction happens through the double bond. So the condensation reactions happens, two of the atoms react and a molecule is removed like water HCl, and there is condensation. But addition is like they have double bonds. So one of a double bond breaks, one of a double bond breaks and a single bond is formed with the other molecule. This is called addition polymers, right? So PE, PP, all the polymers at the very beginning we discussed, PE, polyethylene, polypropylene, all those polymers are, addition polymers, right? All those polymers are addition polymers. Remember that. So there are addition polymers and there are condensation polymers as well, right? Yeah. So come to this. Select the statement that is most correct regarding the polymers. Polythene is formed by condensation polymerization. Polythene formed by condensation? No. Polythene is PE, polyethylene. So ethylene is a double bonded molecule. So it happens through addition polymerization. First one is wrong. So they're asking what? Most correct. Okay. Nylon is a natural polymer. What do you say? No, nylon is not a natural polymer. Water molecules are eliminated during addition polymerization. Water molecules are eliminated during addition polymerization. No, because the addition happens through double bonds. So this is wrong. The molecular weight of a monomer is very high. No, right? The molecular weight of a monomer is really light. 5. Heat resistant polymers are class of thermoplastics. No, they're all wrong. Most correct regarding the polymers. Okay. Heat resistant polymers are different. Are a class of thermoplastics. No, those are thermostats. Heat resistant are the thermostats. Thermostat or thermostable polymers. Thermoplast are the ones when you heat, you can change their shape. And the thermostables are, you can't change the shape by heating. So they are two different things. Heat resistant polymers are a class of thermoplastics. No. They are asking for the correct answer. Which one can we take? Polythene is formed by condensation or polymerization. It's not condensation, it's addition. Nylon is a natural polymer. No. Both of molecules are eliminated during addition. No. Both molecules are eliminated during condensation polymerization. The molecular weight of a monomer is very high. No. So basically they are all wrong. Select the statement that is most correct regarding polymers. Polythene is addition polymerization. So it's all, hopefully, because all wrong. No correct answer. Right? Anything at least like slightly correct? No. Second one, of course, no. Third one? No. Fourth one? No. Fifth one, heat resistant polymers are class of thermoplastics. No. No. So it's all. 12. The incorrect statement regarding biodiesel production is potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide used as catalyst are dissolved in methanol before use. That is correct. So because methanol is a polar solvent, you can dissolve sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide in methanol before using it. That is correct. Excess methanol is used to speed up the reaction. Well, now there's something to consider there, because you don't have to use excess methanol to speed up the reaction, because it's stoichiometric ratio. So if you add it up to the stoichiometric ratio, the reaction will occur properly, right? Because there's a stoichiometric ratio behind every reaction. So if we add the the reactants in that correct ratio, things will happen as per the stoichiometric ratio, and it will go nicely. But there's an issue here. If you can remember, in the production of biodiesel, you'll have to heat it a little bit, or at least when you dissolve the sodium hydroxide in the methanol, there'll be a bit of heat producing there. So when the reaction occurs and when the heat is supplied, methanol will start to evaporate. You get it? The methanol will start to evaporate. So because methanol evaporates, this stoichiometric ratio of the materials will not be fulfilling. Do you understand that? Because the reaction occurs, because the heat is applied, the methanol will be evaporating, so they will be not up the stoichiometric ratios because it's getting evaporated. So because of that, you will have to add methanol back again. So you keep the stoichiometric ratio. So the reaction speed will be up to level. So this is somewhat true. You keep it, but we'll keep it. Third one. Water washing is used to separate biodiesel from the denser glycerol. We have a doubt with this part, but of course the water washing is used to separate biodiesel from the glycerol is correct. But if it is denser, now we have a denser thing here. Because if something is denser, it will sink down. So in biodiesel, always the biodiesel in the top level, the water is in the bottom levels, and the glycerol, if the glycerol is dense, it will be sinking down to the water level, isn't it? So you don't have to put water to remove it because it's already denser and will sink down to the bottom. Yes. So there's something about this one. Oh, SNO2 is used as a heterogeneous catalyst. Of course, this is a solid and is used as a catalyst here. So yeah, that is correct. If the moisture content in the raw material is higher than 20%, it's just actually 2%. It have to be 20%, right? If the moisture content in the raw material is higher than 2%, anyway, the answer says 20%, it inhibits the catalyst activity, of course, because if there's more water, no, this is not the water actually. The moisture content in the raw material, okay? In the raw material, in the sense, there can't be water. It's basically methanol and sodium hydroxide and the plant oil. So there won't be this much of water anyways, 20% of water. Right. So third and fifth are the confusing answers, or the rest are okay, I think. First one is okay. If the moisture content in the raw material is higher than 20%, it inhibits the catalytic activity. So basically in this, this is biodiesel production. So in the biodiesel production, what is inhibiting the catalytic action mostly is the fatty acids, if you remember. Right? In biodiesel production, what mostly inhibits the action of the catalyst is actually the free fatty acids. So the percentage of free fatty acid is, if the percentage of free fatty acid is more than 2%, the catalyst will be reacting with the fatty acid and will be producing the soap. Right? It will be producing the soap. So if the soap was produced, the catalyst will be used. So there will be no catalytic action. There will be reaction won't be occurring properly. That was the theory, but there was no any theory about like 20% of water inhibits the catalytic action, because water does not react with the catalyst or the sodium hydroxide. Therefore, this is wrong as well. Right? This is wrong as well. So this is wrong. Right? This is wrong. So this is somewhat correct. So the answer should be 5. This is not totally correct, but somewhat correct. So, right? Let's take the answer as 5. In paper manufacturing, the chemical used to bleach pulp obtained by mechanical method is sodium hypochlorite, isn't it? It's sodium hypochlorite, right? Sodium hypochlorite is there, and I think 4 of the bleaches were there, right? So out of those 4, sodium hypochlorite was there, right? I can remember that. So like remember the bleaching compound separately for the mechanical and chemical methods, right? Would be better. The response that displays the chemical used in the chemical synthesis of ethanol. Chemical synthesis of ethanol. So C6H3 loss X is basically glucose, and it's used in the biological or the biochemical method, or by using the microorganisms. This is not. It's not a chemical method. It's a biochemical method. C2H4 is, of course, this is ethylene. Ethylene reacting with water molecules, or ethylene reacting with sulfuric acid are the 2 ways of producing ethanol in industries, right? Chemical, like industries in chemical methods. So this was there under natural products. Out of 6 primary metabolites, one of a metabolite is ethanol. So under the production of ethanol, this was there, right? The mechanical method of or the chemical method or industrial method of producing ethanol is using ethylene, sulfuric acid, and water, right? So 2 of the methods were there. So that is true. 14. B, C, D, right? So if you don't remember this was under natural products, under the under 6 primary metabolites. One of the primary metabolites is actually ethanol, so it comes under this one. 15. Out of the essential oils extracted in Sri Lanka and their main chemical constituents, the choice that represent an incorrect combination is, right? Out of the essential oils extracted in Sri Lanka and their main chemical constituents, the choice that represents an incorrect combination is pepper oil, piperine, okay. Clove oil, eugenol, correct. Cinnamon leaf oil, not eugenol. There is cinnamon leaf, right? Still not eugenol, because eugenol is there in clove. Cinnamon leaf is cinnamaldehyde. We keep it. Cinnamaldehyde. Citronella oil, citronelle. Ginger oil is gingerbread. Okay. So the answer is 3. Right? It's cinnamaldehyde. Right? It's cinnamaldehyde. Right. 6. Consider the following processes in wastewater treatments. A. Primary treatment. Removes insoluble parts, dissolved gases, and dissolved heavy metal ions from water. No, it doesn't do that much. In the primary treatment, they just remove the sedimented matter from the bottom and floating raw matters from the top. That's what they do. In the primary treatment, there's a primary treatment tank. So there are sedimentations of mud, sand, and solid particles that are sedimented. They remove it from the bottom, and the solid and raw particles that are floating even the oils and greases, they remove it from the top. So that's what happens in the primary wastewater treatment. So they don't remove any heavy metals or anything, no. B, secondary treatment removes non-toxic organic compounds. Yes, so they remove organic compounds, of course, non-toxic organic compound, that is true. Tertiary treatment removes dissolved salts and water-soluble organic compounds. No, the tertiary treatment is actually chlorinization to remove the unwanted or harmful bacteria, right? To remove the salts and all, you'll just have to do reverse osmosis. You can't remember the reverse osmosis. It's there in the environmental chemistry under the wastewater treatment, because we study wastewater treatment in microbiology and environmental chemistry both. So in the environmental chemistry, there's a bit of more information there, and it says about the reverse osmosis. So if you want to remove the salts in water, you'll have to do reverse osmosis, right? Go to the tute. If you can't remember, just read it again. Which of these statement is or are correct? There's only one correct. B only. There's only B only. Okay, good. B only. 17. Which of the following gases is not a greenhouse gas? Okay. Basically, at molecules with 3 atoms, 3 or more than 3 atoms are greenhouse gases, and if they have dipolar moment, not bipolar. Bipolar is a disease. Dipolar moment. If they have like we discuss under this lesson, there is also environmental chemistry. Under that we discuss the greenhouse gases, and there are certain things there should be to become a greenhouse gas. It should be there in the tute. I have highlighted them. Go to that part and study. So one of the important things is if there are more than 2 atoms, 3 or more than 3 or more than that, they are basically greenhouse gases. And if they have this dipole moment, they are greenhouse gases. So sort of things are there. So all these gases here are greenhouse gases. So the question is actually should be about, they are all greenhouse gases, but one of a gas does not affect the global warming. You understand that? One of a gas does not affect global warming is actually water. Water is a greenhouse gas, but it does not affect the global warming. So the question actually is asking about that, hopefully. So go for that. In the way it's asking is greenhouse gas, not a greenhouse gas, because this has the greenhouse effect, but we don't count it as a greenhouse gas because it doesn't affect the global warming. So that's the way how it is, and the answer is 4, right? 18. Which of the following processes is not related to the carbon cycle? Sedimentation, of course. Sedimentation, deposition is of course there. 2. Respiration, yes. Through the respiration, carbon dioxide is released. 3. Photosynthesis, yes. In the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used. 4. Combustion. In the combustion, yes, carbon dioxide is produced. Turning into gaseous state. What do you mean? Turning into a gaseous state. Which of the following is not a written? Yeah, even turning into gaseous state is, well, there's no anything directly says like turning into gaseous state, right? But all these, the other parts are there. Sedimentation or deposition of carbon is there. Through respiration, carbon dioxide is released. Photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used. In the combustion, carbon dioxide is produced. Turning into gaseous state is like if there's liquid carbon dioxide and it turns into gaseous state, sort of a meaning, isn't it? So turning into gaseous state seems to be odd, and relatively to the other answers, this is wrong. So answer should be 5, right? The value of angle x shown in the diagram. Okay, diagram has gone to the bottom. So angle of x, this one, right? So if this is root 6, this is root 6, you can find the length of this one, right? That is d. If you know the d, this is 4, this is adjacent, this is the hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse is cos. So by using the cos value, you can find the angle. That is easy. So I'm gonna first find the d. Shall I do it somewhere here? I'm gonna do it here, right? So I'm gonna find d first. That is d square equals root 6 square plus root 6 square, right? Equals 6 plus 6, that is 12. So d equals root of 12, that will be 4 into 3 is 12, right? 6 plus 6 is 12 root. So d equals 2 root 3, right? So d is 2 root 3 and hypotenuse is 4. So if you take the cos theta, I'm going to take the cos theta here. So if I take the cos theta here, cos theta equals adjacent over the hypotenuse. So the adjacent is 2 root 3. Adjacent is 2 root 3. Hypotenuse is 4. 2 to 4 cancels out. So it is root 3 over 2. So what value of theta gives root 3 over 2? What value of cos theta gives root 3 over 2? That is cos 30, right? That is cos 30. So answer is 30. Cos 30. 30. Yes. 20. The base diameter of a cylindrical water tank is 14 meters, right? So there's a cylindrical water tank here, right? There's a cylindrical water tank here. There's a cylindrical water tank here. And the diameter of this water tank is actually 14 meters. It is given as 14 meters, right? And to fill it half of the water tank, it takes a volume of 924. So if I fill it to half, that is as a volume 924 cubic meters. The depth of the water in the tank is, right? The depth of the water in the tank. So you have to find the depth of the water. Depth of water in the tank. So it's easy, right? Cross-sectional area to the height, right? To fill half of the water tank, half water is required. The depth of the water in the tank, okay. Okay, that's easy. It's 5r square h. So 22 over 7. Radius is 7 because the diameter is 14. 5r and square is into h equals 924. 924. 1 over 7 to 1 over 7 cancels out. So you have to divide 924 by 22/7. Right. 922 5 2. Right. It's 924 divided by 22 divided by 7. That is 6. Right. That is 6. But the answer 6 is not there. Right. Answer 6 is not there. So if this is asking the depth of water in the depth of the tank, not the water, the depth of the tank, right? The depth of the tank should be twice of it. It should be 12, right? Because 6 is not there. 6 is not there. if it is the depth of the tank, that should be 12, right? 21. In triangle ABC, AC equals 8 centimeters and AB equals 13 centimeters. If BAC is 60, what is the area of the triangle? That is half AB sine C, that is easy. So this is ABC. AB is 13, right? AC is 8 and the BAC is 60, right? So if we apply the formula, half AB sine C, right? Half AB sine 60. That will be 13 into 9, sorry, not 19, it's 9. 13 into 9 into 13 into 9 into sine 60 is root 3 over 2. Okay. How much is that? Did I do it correct? AB is 13. Okay. And AC is 8. Okay. AC is 8, not 18. Nice. Okay. It's 8. So this is 4. This is 4. What the hell? This is 4. So this is 2. So the area should be 26 root 3. 26 root 3. Answer 2. Answer 2. Right? 26 root 3. Right? It's 26 root 3. Right. So come to the next one. What is the volume of solid cone with a base radius of 25 centimeters and a perpendicular height of 42 centimeters in terms of phi? So you don't have to simplify the phi. So this is the cone. Right, this is the cone and the perpendicular height, the base radius is 25, right? The base radius is 25 and the height is how much? Perpendicular height is 42. This is 42. And they are asking volume. So volume of a cone is 1/3 of the volume of cylinder. That is 1/3 phi r square h. Right, so it's 1/3. You don't have to simplify phi. Phi should be already there. This is 25, so it's 25 square. Height is 42. It's all easy, isn't it? That's 42 divided by 3. Yes, 1. It's 14. So it's 20. Shall I simplify this one? 625, right? Into 14, 8,755. Answer 1. Answer is 1. That is easy. 23. PQ is a line segment lying on the line Y equals 2x plus 3 with the unit length of root 20. The coordinates of point P are 1 and 5. Then the coordinates of the point Q are. Okay. I think we better draw it, right? We better draw it. So what does it say? PQ is a line segment lying on the Y equals 2x plus 3 equation at the unit length of root 20. With the coordinates of point P are 1 and 5. The coordinates of point Q. Okay. Right. So the PQ is a line lying on the equation. I already forgot the equation. Y equals 2x plus 3 and P is 1, 5. Y equals 2x plus 3. Y equals 2x plus 3. Okay. Y equals 2x plus 3. Right. Y equals 2x plus 3 is the equation, and the coordinates of P point is 1 and 5, and the length of this is root 20, and they're asking the coordinates of Q. So to find it, you'll have to go apply either Pythagoras, right? Or the easiest thing is because the formula is given, check which of the answers they have given. Set you up with the exact y and x values when you apply to this one. So this is how we do it. So let's see what are the answers. Minus 1, 3. Let's apply and see. If minus 1 and 3 gives the same x and y values when we apply, so they are of course in this graph. We don't know if it is root 20 or not. If there's only one answer, when we apply those coordinate values, that should be the definite answer. So if I apply minus 1, if the answer is 3, then of course that is one of a point that is in the line of this graph. So minus 1. 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. Minus 2 plus 3 is plus 1. So if I apply minus 1 here, minus 1 plus 1 should be there. So first answer is wrong, right? If I apply minus 1, they have given plus 3. This is wrong. Second one, 3, 1. So if I applied 3 to x, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So y is 9. So no. Second answer. If this is 3, this should be 9. This is wrong. 3, 9. I think this should work because y should be more than 3. 3 into 2 is 6. 6 plus 3 is of course 9. So the answer should be this one, right? When you apply x to the formula, the y value is 9, and it's one of a line in the graph. And all the other answers aren't giving the correct answer because this is x greater than 3 can't happen, because as per the formula the y should be greater than x. Even this can't happen. So the answer should be 3, right? 24. The equation of the straight line perpendicular to the line y equals x plus 4, and passing through the point 2, 2 is. The equation of the straight line perpendicular to the line y equals x plus 4 and passing through the point 2, 2. Okay. The equation of the straight line perpendicular to the line. Okay. The equation of the straight line perpendicular to the line. So if a line is perpendicular to this line, that line's gradient should be minus reciprocal of this line. So let's say there's this line, y equals x plus 4, and there's a line perpendicular to it. So the gradient of this line is 1, and gradient of this line should be minus reciprocal of it, which is minus 1. Okay. The equation of the straight line perpendicular to the line y equals x plus 4 and passing through the point 2, 2 is. So this line passed through the point 2, 2 as well. Let's say this is the point 2, 2, and it's passing through this point as well. So they're asking the formula of this line. So how do you find it? It's easy. Just have to apply to this equation. M equals y minus y1 divided by x minus x1. So if you have two of the things, one is the gradient, the other one is the coordinates of one point of the graph, you can get the formula of the graph. So this is how you simplify it. So the gradient is minus 1 equals y minus y1 should be one of a coordinate in the graph, that is 2 divided by x minus the other coordinate is 2. So if you cross multiply this, that will be minus x plus 2 equals y minus 2, right? And the equation is y equals minus x plus 4. This is the equation of the graph. Y equals minus x plus 4. Answer is 2. What's that? Minus x plus 4. What's that? Right, minus x plus 4. Right. 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 So let's come to the next one. 25. If cos 2 theta equals half, right? If cos 2 theta equals half, then the value of theta is. So if cos 2 theta is equal to half, if cos 2 theta is equal to half, the value of theta. So cos 60 is actually half, right? Cos 60 is actually half. So 2 theta should be 2 into 30. That is 60. So theta is 30. Answer is 3. That is easy. The length of a rectangular room is x plus 4. And the width is x. If it is area is 320, find the value of x. So you have to take the area in equality to 320 and simplify x. It will be something like this, right? So x into x plus 4 equals 320. Right? That will be x square plus 4x equals 320. Right? So now you have to take 320 this side. That will be x square plus 4x minus 320 equals 0. So now you have to break this into the factors. So how do you break this into the factors? So multiplication of the factors. So it's x minus something and x plus something. And this something multiplied together should be equal to 320. Difference should be 4. Difference should be 4. Multiplication 320, difference 4. So I had to break this down, which gives a difference of with two of the values, which gives the difference of 4, multiplication of 320. So what gives you 320? This is so factors of x square plus 4x minus 320. Right. So it's plus 20 minus 16. 20 times 16 is 320. 20 into 16, right? 20 into 16 is 320. 20 into 16 is 320 and the difference is 4. So it's 20 into minus 16. Yeah, difference should be plus 4. So minus 16 plus 20. So if you break these factors, x minus 16 equals 0. X plus 20 is also. So only plus value is 16, right? This is a minus value, so we have to take the plus value. So x equals 16 also is 4. So this is one of a new thing, this simplification of quadratic functions. So this, no, we actually discussed one of these questions like this in the previous papers, as I remember. It's a good one so far. Not a huge one, but okay, it's a good one. Right, hopefully it's a good one. Right, come to 27. The weights of 11 students in class measured to the nearest kilogram are given below. 34, 25, 30. So they are not in the ascending order, first thing is. So you have to put it in the ascending order as per the question. Let's see. The interquartile range of this data distribution. So yeah, of course, you need to write them back in the ascending order. So what is the ascending order of this one? Smallest value is 25. So it's 25. 34, right? 35, 25, 34, 35. What else? No 30s are there. 42, 44, then 48, then 50, then 60, then 65, then 68, then 72. That's all, right? These are the values. So the interquartile range of this data distribution is, right? The interquartile range of this data distribution is. So how do you find the interquartile range? There is Q1, Q3 minus Q1. So we have to find Q1 and Q3. Let's find Q3 first. That's 3/4 of n plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 6, 9, 11. So yeah, 11. So n plus 1 is 12. Huh? N plus 12 I took it at once. So this is 4 times 3. 3 into 3 is 9. So we have to take the 9th one. 9th value. 1, 3, 3, 6, 9, 65. And you have to take Q1. What is Q1? Equals 1/4 of n plus 1, which is again 12. So 3. Is it correct? 1/4, right? Yeah, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the interquartile range is 65 minus 35. That is 30. Answer 1, right? Answer 1. So there were no decimals, right? It was exactly 12 and divided here. So this we have done so many times. So you have to open the brackets by multiplying this by 30. So that is 30xi minus 30 times 52 equals minus 12. So that is 30x minus 30 into 52 is what? Okay, 30 into 52. $1,560. Minus 1,560 going to the other side becomes plus 1560. So 1560 minus 12, 1560, that is 48, 1548, right? So xi equals this divided by 30. 1548 divided by 30. That is 51.6. That is the mean of it, right? Yeah. Right? That's the mean of it. So xi is this divided by 30, 51.6. Which of the following is not a function of an operating systems? Right. File management is of course a function of operating systems. Process management, okay. Memory management, compiler creation, device management. There is compiling creation. Compile creation. I think it's not a function of the compile creation. Compile creation. Compile creation is the process of building a translator that converts high-level source code into low-level machine or assembly code. No. So the operating system does not do that. So the answer is 4. The software used for file management in Windows. File Explorer. Right, File Explorer. What is the purpose of creating subfolders inside a folder? To reduce the memory usage? No. To organize files? Okay. To temporarily update the control panel? No. To restrict the task manager? No. To perform defragments? No. So the answer is 2. Answer is 2. 32. For which of the following is an IP address used? To start a web browser? No. To identify a computer? Yes. IP address is there to identify the address of the computer. To find a website? No. Even inside a website, the IP address is there, of course, but the main purpose is to identify a computer. To search for information quickly, to configure. So the answer is 2. What does an ISP, International Service Provider, do? Assemble computers? No. Provides internet connectivity? Yeah. They provide the connections. Creates web interfaces? No. Build domain names? No. 34. The main function of application software is application software. Which are the Word, Excel, PowerPoint? Starting the computer? No. Managing secondary storage memory? No. Connecting hardware and software? No. Assisting the user to perform a specific task. Assisting the user to perform a specific task. This is somewhat okay. Let's keep it. Managing the operating system? No. So answer should be actually 4. Answer is 4, right? Microsoft Office is an application software, right? Microsoft Office is an application software. Not just one software, it's a package of softwares. An operating system? No. A software package. Yeah. Yes. So the answer is 2. VLC media player is used for accessing web pages? No. Creating graphs? No. Playing videos and audios? Yes. Yeah. Right. Here is the English translation of ICT and physics. Okay. 37. The choice that correctly lists an input device and an output device respectively. Input device and output device. Speaker is output device, not an input device. Mouse is an input device, but keyboard is an input device as well, so no. Keyboard is an input device. Monitor is of course a output device. 4. Webcam is an input device. Mouse is an input device as well. Touch screen is input output device. Keyboard is an input device. So answer should be 3. Keyboard monitor. Yeah, keyboard monitor. 38. In a computer system, a byte is defined as collection of 8 bits. Byte is collection of 8 bits. Right. 39. A reading measured by a measuring instrument with a percentage error of 4% was 2.50. What is the least count or the smallest measurement of the instrument? So the percentage error, right? Percentage error, right? The percentage error equals what? Least count. If there's no error, least count over measurement into 100%. So percentage error is 4% equals least count, we don't know, divide by measurement 2.5 centimeters into 100%. So 100 to 100 cancels out. 2.5 cross multiplied, that is 10. 10 divided by 100 is LC equals 0.1 centimeters. Right. 10 divided by 100 is 1 over 10, that is 0.1 centimeters. So answer is in millimeters, it should be 0.1 centimeters is 1 millimeters. So 1 millimeter is not there, right? 0.1 centimeter, millimeter. So shall we correct this as 0.1 centimeter? Take this one because the value is 0.1, but it is in centimeters, so right, answer should be 0.1 centimeter. 40. An object of mass 2 kilogram moves with a uniform velocity on a horizontal surface under the influence of 4 Newton horizontal force. The coefficient of friction between the object and the surface. So there are few of the things important to notice here. An object of mass 2 kilogram moves with a uniform velocity. It moves with a uniform velocity, okay, on a horizontal surface under the influence of 4 newtons. If it moves horizontal, like if it moves in uniform velocity, the point is the forces in either side should be equal, which is the applied force and the friction. They both should be equal. So the force applied and the friction both are equal. Right. So they're asking for the coefficient of friction, which is mu. So if P equals mu r, we should apply. So friction should be 4 newtons anyways, because the applied force should equal to the friction. It's 4. The weight is 2 kilograms. Therefore, the reaction equals to the weight, that is 20 newtons, right? Into 20. So mu equals, mu equals 4 divided by 20, that is 0.2, right? 0.2. Yeah, 0.2, right? That is 0.2. 41. The diagram shows several forces acting on a rod AD. The values of R1 and R2 required to maintain the system in static equilibrium or respectively. I have given this in my workbook as well. So if you want to take R1, you can take the pivot point from any of the places on the rod given and can equal the torques of the either sides. And if I want to find R1, I have to take the pivot point from R2, because if I take the pivot point from the middle, I'll have to take both R1 and R2 in one formula. So two unknown factors you can simplify. But if I take the pivot point from one of the unknown forces, that unknown force can be cancelled out, because the force on the pivot point does not affect the equilibrium as we take in the calculation. So I'm going to take the pivot point from R2, therefore R2 is not affecting now. So I'm going to take the rotations. That will be left hand side rotations I'll take as plus, the right hand rotations as minus. So because this is under equilibrium, sigma torque, the resultant torque should be 0. So 0 should equal to left hand side rotations plus right hand side rotation. And left hand side rotations I should take as if I take as a plus value, right hand side rotations will be a minus value. So let's take the left hand side rotations first. 500. So 5 into 10 to the power 3 into 3. This is one left hand side rotation. This is the other one. So they are in both in the same direction. So we have to add them. 2500 into 9, right? So it's 2.5 into 10 to the power 3, 1, 2, 3 into 9, right? What else? And this right hand side rotation, that is a minus. It's R1 into the length is 3, 6 is 9, 9, 1 is 10. Okay, so that is all. So this is minus 10 R1, right? This is minus 10 R1. I'll take it to this side. It will become plus 10 R1, right? It is plus 10 R1 equals, I have to add these two together. 15 into 10 to the power 3 plus what is this now? 2.5 into 9. How much is that? 2.5 into 10 is 25. So 22.5. 22.5 to the power 3, right? To the power 3. And now adding these two together, that will be 37.5, right? That will be 37.5 into 10 to the power 3 equals 10 R1. So R1 equals, if you divide one of a value, that will be 10 to the power 2. That is how much? 3750. 3750 newtons, right? 3750 newtons of a value, right? So R1 is 3750. Now the answers are there? No. Bloody hell. 3750. So R2 is given in that value. So the other way is, if this is we found it as R1, right? R1 is this one. 3750. This is 3750. Upward forces should equal to the downward forces. So downward force is 5000 plus 2500. That is in total 7500 newtons downward of a force. So upward force should also equal to this. Otherwise, this should go up and down. So it doesn't happen because the upward force should equal to the downward force. So since we found this force, the force here should be also like, if I take it as R2 plus 3750 should equal to 7500, right? Total force upward should equal to total force downwards. That will be how much? 7,500 minus 3,750, right? So 7,500, okay, minus 3,750. It's a exact half of it, 3,750. So it's 3,750 as well. Any answer like that? No, right? None of the answers are like that. So it's all, right? So both the R1, R2 values are 3,750, right? 3,750. Right, come to the next one. R2. A stone piece of mass 0.4 kilogram is projected vertically upwards under gravity with a velocity of 20 meters per second. The maximum height reaches by the stone piece is, that is, half mv square equals mgh. Now these questions are really easy. Half mv square equals mgh, right? So mass to mass cancels out. So we cross multiply this one. We are asking for the velocity or height. They're asking for the height. So I have to isolate height. So h equals half v square divided by g. So v square is how much? We don't want the mass, we don't need it. 20. So 20 square is 400. 400 divided by 20 is 20. So h is 20. Answer 5. Answer 5, right? So this is basically 20, yeah? Because half v square is 20 square. 2 into 10 is 20. So 20. Right? 43. A metal disc of radius 35 centimeters has a mass of 2 kilogram. This is a metal disc. And its radius is 35 centimeters, right? Radius is 35 centimeters. Mass is 2 kilograms, right? Mass is 2 kilograms. What is the rotational kinetic energy possessed by the disk when it rotates at a speed of 360 rpm? 360 rpm. Moment of inertia is half mr square. Okay. So I have to find it. Right, so how do you find it? So you have to find I first. Because kinetic energy is anyway what? Kinetic energy anyway is Ek is half I omega square, right? So you need to find I, then omega. So all the the values are given to find I and omega separately. So let's find out I and omega first. So what is I here? Half mr square. The mass is 2, radius is 35 centimeters. So you have to convert into meters. So I'm going to find I. Half mass is 2, radius is 35 divided by 100 to convert it into meters. It's square. So I equals 35 over 100 complete square of it. I'm going to keep it that way. And what is omega? Omega equals 2πf. RPM is given as 360, right? Omega should equals to 2πf. Now frequency should equal to RPM divided by 60, right? RPM divided by 60. So F equals 360 divided by 60. That is 6 hertz. So omega is 2π into 6. That is 12π, right? Rad per second. So now we can apply the values to this one. This one, right? Yeah. So half I is 35 over 100 square and omega is 12 and 12π. should be 12 phi square. Even the phi is simplified, so bro, I had simplified this one, right? So into 35 into 35, okay, this divide by 2 into 10,000. It's 8.7 something here. 86 point so the approximate answer is 4. You got a 5k decimals got an answer so right, the electromotive force of cell with negligible internal resistance is 24. Okay, and two resistors of equal magnitude are connected in series to it. Subsequently, they are connected in parallel to the same cell. So there's a 24 volt battery, let's say, and two of the resistors are connected in series combination, and they are subsequently connected in parallel combination as well, but the same battery. Right. So this is R, this R, this way. Right. And are connected parallel to the same cell. The choice that represents the ratio between the current flowing out of the cell, the two instances respectively. So the equivalent resistance here is 2R. Equivalent resistance in this incidence is 24 as well. So the equivalent resistance here is 2R. Equivalent resistance of this one is 0.5R. Why? This is linear, you have to add. This is parallel, and the same resistance continues 2 times. So the resistance of 1 divided by number of resistors repeating. So that is 1 R divided by 2. That is 0.5 R. So because this has less resistance, more current should be coming out of the battery. So they are asking the choice that represents the ratio between the current flowing out of the cell. So current flowing out of the cell, if we put V equals IR, this is 4 times greater than this, right? This is 4 times greater than this one. Therefore, the current should be 4 times less than this one. So let's say the current coming out of this is 4 because the resistance is 0.5. The current coming out of this should be 1/4 of it because the ratio of the resistors is 4, right? So if we take V equals IR, because the resistance of this one is less, there should be more current in this, and the resistance of this one is 4 times this. So this should be having 4 times less than this current. So if the current here is 4, the current here should be 1 amperes, right? Okay. So they're asking ratio between the current flowing out of the cells in the two resistors respectively. So what are the two? Linear and parallel, right? So this is linear, that is 1:4. 1:4 is 1 divided by 4, that is 0.25. 1:4 is 1 divided by 4, that is 0.25, right? Okay. Diagram A, B, and C below shows a current carrying conductor placed inside a magnetic field B. The option that correctly represents the variation in the magnitude of the magnetic force acting on the wire is, right? Diagram A and B and C below shows a current carrying conductor placed inside the magnetic field B. The option that correctly represents the variation in the magnitude of the magnetic force. So, if the magnetic field and the current passing conductor are perpendicular to each other, they will give the maximum force that is possible. But if it is parallel, the magnetic force will be 0. And if it is in an angle, cos theta amount of the actual one will be the force. So in this case, the magnetic force will be F equals BIL cos theta. In this case, the force will be BIL. In this case, force will be 0 because two are parallel. So cos theta should be less than BIL, right? So BAC. Greater one is B. B A C. BAC. This one. BAC, right? Third answer. Consider the following statements. Heat is the flow of energy that occurs due to the temperature difference. Accepted. That is true. A material medium is essential for the radiation of heat. No, radiation is electromagnetic force, so it doesn't have to have a medium for that, right? And C, the unit of linear expansivity is K. Yeah, that is true. So A and C, which of the above statement are true? A and C are true. A and C. Right. 47. What is the total amount of heat required to convert 500 gram of ice at its melting point into water at its boiling point? Okay, now we need to have the values here. So the values aren't given. So they're supposed to give you the values, right? They're supposed to give you the values. If the values aren't given, there's an issue. So they're asking what is the total amount of heat required to convert 500 gram of ice at its melting point. So this ice is at its melting point, 0 degrees of Celsius. It's 500. And it's starting to melt, which means this is ml, right? Melting ice is ml into water at its boiling point. So this goes from ml to water. So everything is melted. Then 0 degrees of Celsius to 100 degrees of Celsius. That is MC theta, right? This is MC theta. So total boiling point. So it doesn't say it's going to evaporate or to vaporize. So the energy that it takes to melt the ice and to increase the temperature up to 100 degrees of Celsius is ml plus mc theta. So they is supposed to give L and C. So C is a common value, 4200 joule per kilogram per Kelvin, but I can't remember the latent heat of ice. We'll find it out. Latent heat of ice. They're supposed to give it 334 kilojoule. That is it that much? The latent heat of ice, the specific latent heat of fusion is approximately 334 kilojoule. So I'll take it, right? So mass is 500 grams divided by 1000 into 334,000 joules per kilogram, right? Plus mass is 500 divided by 1000 multiplied by how much? 4200. The temperature difference is 100 because it's going up to up from 0 to up to 100 from 0. So this 10 to the power 3 to 1000 cancels out. 500 into 334 is there. Here two of the zeros can cancel out. One of the 0 can cancel out. So there's 5 left. So we have to simplify this. Take the cal. Okay. So it's 500 into 334. That is 1600 and this much. 3 of the zeros are also there. Plus 5 into 42. Let's take 5 into 42. That is 210. 5 into 40 is 210. And how many zeros are left? 3 of the zeros are left. So 21. 3 of the zeros are left, right? 210 into 10 to the power 3. So you have to add 210 and 167. This plus 167. 377 to the power 3. So this much. 377 to the power 3. Answer 4. Answer 4. So it should be given L, that is 334 to the power 3 joule per kilogram, right? And specific heat capacity of water should be given 4200 joule per kilogram Celsius or per Kelvin. These two should be given. So should I give it as all? Let's see. Right. Come to the next question, 49. The volume of an object of mass 0.26. Hold on. Right. The volume of an object of mass 0.26 kilogram is 4000 cubic centimeters. The object is taken to the bottom of a water container and gently released. The upward acceleration with which the object travels through the water could be. Come again. The volume of an object of mass 0.26 kilogram is 400 cubic centimeters. The object is taken to the bottom of a water container and gently released. The upward acceleration with which the object travels through the water could be. So this is what it says. So you are taking a container and you put the water in it. You take an object and immerse it inside the water, and its mass is 0.26 kilograms and its volume is 400 cubic centimeters, right? And you release it, right? And it moves up, accelerating. And they're asking for the acceleration of the object. The density of the water is given 1000 So you have to find the acceleration. So this one seems to be a good question, right? So this accelerates upwards because the weight and the upthrust have a difference, right? So upthrust is greater than the weight. Because of that, greater upthrust takes the object to the surface with an acceleration because it's a force. F equals ma. So at the end you have to put F equals ma, but before that you will have to find the upthrust and then the weight. The upthrust weight different is the resultant force, and the resultant force is causing the mass to acceleration. So let's calculate it. Right. So how do you find the upthrust? That is U equals V rho G, right? So V is what? 400 cubic centimeters. So it's 400 into cubic centimeter. You have to convert into cubic meters by 10 to the power, multiplying it by 10 to the power minus 6. And the rho is 1000. G is 10. This is the upthrust, right? So it's 10 to the power 3, 4, 5, 6. So all the zeros will cancel out. So upthrust is basically 4 Newton. So upthrust is 4 newtons. And the weight is how much? The mass is 0.26. So the weight should be 2.6 newtons, right? Weight is 2.6 newtons. So you have to apply F equals ma now. Sigma F equals ma now. Sigma F is 4 minus 2.6 equals mass is 0.26, right? Mass is 0.26. And find the acceleration. So how much is that now? $5.38. Answer 4. Answer 4. Right. Answer is 4. Right. The last question. The statement that describes a phenomenon that cannot be explained by Bernoulli's principle is: a kicked football travels along a curved path in the air. Right. A kicked football traveling along a curved path in the air. So yeah, Bernoulli. Airplane flying horizontally in the sky. Bernoulli. The purification of air inside a tunnel. Keep it. Purification of air inside a tunnel. Okay. The hydraulic lift used to raise vehicles in a service station. That is Pascal, not Bernoulli. Obtain complete combustion light output in a Bunsen burner. In the Bunsen burner, the burner is acting. So we have two. The purification of air inside the tunnel. So yeah, Bernoulli can be used because pressure difference takes a airflow, and somewhat Bernoulli can be applied there. The answer should be anyways this one because this is Pascal, not Bernoulli's. Hydraulic jack-selling in Pascal. So answer. Right. So that's MCQ. So out of 50, I don't know how many answers you have made correct. Let's see. Right. Right. So let's come to the structure. They say Right. So we have to start with this. Part A, structured disease. Uh, cartilaginous fish. Right. So I labeled this many times. Right. 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 So first one is the first shown in the diagram, cartilaginous fish or a bony fish. Of course, it's a cartilaginous fish. What is the specific fish species? This is a shark, right? This is a shark. Write down the two characteristics visible in the diagram that help you to identify this fish species. So, okay, the fish shown in the diagram, the cartilaginous fish. It's a cartilaginous fish, right? And what is the specific fish species? That is a shark. Write down two characteristics visible in the diagram that help you to identify this fish species. One is the gill openings, right? And the location of the mouth and the pectoral fin, right? Gill openings. And covered with the bony flap. Okay? The bony flap. So flap. What else? Even the tail, right? The caudal fin is symmetrical. No, asymmetrical. Caudal fin. Make asymmetrical. Make any caudal fin. Caudal fin is in this one it seems to be symmetrical, but this is not symmetrical. It's something like this. So it is not symmetrical in the diagram as well. So caudal fin is not symmetrical, right? And even the mouth is also more into it's not like the mouth is not in the front. You call it it is located in underside of the head or have a tilt or approach foot from the specific angle, right? So it's underside of the mouth, underside of the head, not in the front of the head. So it's called underside of the mouth. Name the fins indicated by the English letters A, B, C, and D. So shall we label them at the exact point? So starting from A, so it's the dorsal fin, right? This is the first dorsal fin. First dorsal fin. First dorsal fin, right? And the B is second dorsal fin. Is the second dorsal fin. Is the second dorsal fin. And the C is anal fin. C anal fin. Right. And this is pelvic fin. Pelvic fin. And this is pectoral fin. Pectoral fin. Pectoral fin. So these are the fins. Right. Right. So write down 2 economic benefits obtained from fish. Fish oil and as a protein resource. Right. As a protein resource. It is a known fact that fish is protein rich food. Purpose an experiment to identify the presence of protein in the fish we consume. That is biorate test. Biorate test. You know, explain it, right? Propose an experiment to identify the presence of protein. I think we have to explain it. So what do? Take a protein solution, add few drops of biorate, which is NaOH medium copper sulfate. This is biorate. And heat the mixture. If a purple color difference was made, purple color difference was made, the proteins are present, right? Proteins are present, right? 7. State the expected observation from experiment you mentioned above. State the expected observation. I already wrote it there. So purple color solution is made, right? Purple color solution is made. Write down 2 other foods known to you that contain protein. Soybeans. I'm writing apart from the animal proteins. Soybeans and then what? Mushrooms. Right. At present, tissue culture is rapidly proliferating across the world. Based on that, answer the questions asked below. Define the term tissue culture. So, let's go to the tissue culture first. So, it's growth of cells, tissues, and organs in a sterile artificial medium separate from the parent organism, right? So, hold on for a second. uh, right, cultivating living, it's a artificial artificial propagation method uh, of cultivating living plant parts of cultivating living plant parts, cultivating living plant parts in a closed container, closed container with nutrient medium under controlled conditions, right? This is the given definition. What is the plant hormone predominantly used to promote root development in tissue culture? So it's auxin basically, auxin, right? Right, so it's auxin. It's auxin, right? Write down the advantages of tissue culture. So if we compare the advantages of tissue culture, so it's an artificial propagation method, so we can make a large number of plants with a small place, or the space that it takes for tissue culture is less. And what else? right? And it is basically out of the diseases because it's under aseptic conditions, right? So it doesn't have diseases. So write down the advantages of tissue culture. Can make millions of copies of plants in a small space. So if you grow this in a actual ground, it will take a huge space. And because this is done in aseptic conditions, this is done in aseptic conditions, plants are disease free, right? Plants are disease free. It's disease free, right? Plants are disease free, and there are more, right? Write down one disadvantage of tissue culture. So it takes premises and it takes specific premises and that cost you the money, right? Right. So high cost of maintenance and expertise are needed, right? Expertise are needed. All enzymes can be introduced as a subgroup belonging to the protein family. Furthermore, enzymes are identified as a form of 3D or tertiary quaternary proteins. What are the common constituent elements found in enzymes? Right, so this should be so what are the common constituent elements found in enzymes? Like this is protein. So basically proteins have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur, right? So these should be the elements. What is the role performed by an enzyme in biochemical reaction occurring inside living bodies? So they reduce the activation energy of a reaction, right? They reduce the activation energy of a reaction right? They reduce the activation energy of a reaction. Briefly explain how the above mentioned role is accomplished. By taking the reaction in a low activation energy pathway, right? Low activation energy pathway. Oh, it can be stated that enzymes possess a unique specificity compared to the other biochemical compounds. State three points to explain what is meant by this statement. It can be stated that enzymes possess a unique specificity. So as I told you in one of a paper, I can't remember if it is in a theory part as well, I said that enzymes are really specific, which means they only catalyze one of a specific reaction that is explained by the lock and key method, right? That is explained by the lock and key method, which means a one lock has only one key, right? One lock has one key method. So if you think about that, right? If you think about that, it means state 3 points to explain this. So now this is bit of like out of our new syllabus, but there's I think bit of a knowledge in the last like the old syllabus, but try to write something. It can be stated that enzyme possesses a unique specificity compared to the other biochemical compounds. Okay. I state 3 points to explain what meant by this. It means the specificity of the substrate to the enzyme. Specificity of the substrate to the enzyme, which means one catalyst catalyze only one reaction. So the other one is reaction specificity. So it only catalyze one reaction specificity. Right. So it binds only with one substrate. That is a specificity of the substrate to the enzyme, and it catalyze one reaction, that is reaction specificity. And the third one can be, as I explained in the last biochemistry lesson, it has a site to bind the substrate. So if the substrate is something like this, the product is something like this. So this is the site to bind for two of these parts, A and B. A and B will bind on this. So this is called active site specificity. So the active site is only specified to bind the specific shapes of substrate. So that is called active site specificity. So this is a bit out of the syllabus. Right? State 3 factors that affect the enzyme activity. Right? 3 factors affecting the enzyme activity. Temperature, salinity, then the pH value, right? pH value. Those are the factors, right? Select the appropriate enzyme required, and even substrate concentration. Substrate. So 4 of the factors were there. This is the 4th one. Substrate concentration. Right? Select the appropriate enzyme required for the functions listed below and write the corresponding letter in the box provided. Right. So containing detergents and contributes to removing stains. So where are the select the appropriate enzyme required for the function listed below and write the so I haven't given oh no, it's there. Okay, I have to select from these. Contain detergents and contributes to the removing stains. So lipase can do that, and even protease can do that. So if I take E, lipase can remove stains of let's say oil stains. An ingredient included in energy drink for the athletes. Carbohydrates can be included in energy drinks because glucose is a good energy source. Used for printing, processing of textiles. Used for the pre-digestion of proteins in baby foods. That is protease, of course. C. Contained in small amounts in weight loss foods. Use of printing, processing, and textiles, that is cellulose, because yeah, we take plant materials in the textile industry, so it's B. Yeah. Ingredient included in energy drinks. It could be isomerase. Hold on for a second. Contained in small amounts in the weight loss foods. Carbohydrates, yeah. So because carbohydrates are digested, that will lose your weight. So it's D. So isomerase is definitely energy drink component. So A, E, B, C, D should be the answers, right? Okay, in industrial application, instead of using expensive glucose and lactose monosaccharides to manufacture energy drinks for athletes, enzymes are used to convert starch, a low-cost material, into sugar syrup. In a laboratory experiment conducted to study this enzymatic activity, the temperature of the system is raised from room temperature 27 degrees Celsius up to 40 degrees of Celsius. The specific heat capacity of the mixture is 4.2 grams per Celsius. Right, and the volume of the reaction mixture solution is 200 milliliters. The density of the mixture is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. What is the mass of the mixture used for this? So it's mass is density into volume, right? Mass equals density into volume. So density is given how much? 1 gram per cubic centimeter. And the volume is 200 milliliters is 200 cubic centimeters. So the mass will be 200 grams, right? It's 200 grams. Right. Volume of the reaction mixture is okay. Okay. Right. Calculate the quantity of heat absorbed during the experiment. So it says the temperature of the system is raised from the room temperature 27 to 40 degrees of Celsius. The specific heat capacity of the mixture is given, density and the volume are given. So we had to apply MC theta. So you already found the mass, that is 200 grams. Specific heat capacity is 4.2 gram joules per gram per Kelvin or per Celsius. Temperature difference is from 27 to 40, that is 40 minus 27. 40 minus 27. So multiply all of these together, you'll get the answer, right? That is 200 into 4.2 into 40 minus 27. That will be 13, right? Yeah, 13. 10,920 joules. 10,920 joules. Right? If an energy quantity of 1 joule is equivalent to 4.2 calories, what is the number of calories in the heat energy calculated above, right? What is the number of calories in the heat energy calculated above? So if 1 joule is 4.2, you have to divide this by 1 joule is 4.2, you have to multiply this by 4.2, right? So 10,920 multiplied by 4.2. Multiplied by 4.2. 45,864. 40. Sorry. So it's 45,864 calories. C. It is intended to perform tests to identify the enzymes and simple sugars present in the energy drink prepared through the above experiment. The table below provides the appropriate reagents, initial color, and the final color of those tests, right? So enzyme, reagent, enzyme is a protein, so biurate, of course, right? Right, so biurate is basically basic medium copper sulfate, so it converts from blue to purple or purplish blue, right? Blue to purple, right? Initial color is blue because it's copper sulfate, right? And the final color is purple, right? And the simple sugar reagent is acidic medium copper sulfate, which is Benedict, right? So Benedictus, and the initial color is blue. Final color is brick red. Is brick red, right? Is brick red. A setup prepared by a student to study the rate of reaction is shown below, right? So reaction mixture is given, gas syringe is given that you can measure the volumes. Chemical equation is zinc carbonate plus HCl is converted into zinc chloride plus carbon dioxide plus water, B. Magnesium oxide plus HCl is converted to magnesium chloride plus H2O. Which reaction A or B is more suitable for this experimental setup? Well, so one which releases a gas that you can collect is actually carbon dioxide, because it won't condense, because if it is for the second reaction, water produced can be condensed, so that will become liquid easier. But the carbon dioxide won't be like that. So which reaction A or B is more suitable for this experimental setup is actually A, right? Because water is becoming condensed and converts into liquid. Explain how reading can be obtained to measure the rate of above mentioned reaction. Explain how readings can be obtained. So in a unit time, you can take the volume of this syringe, right? So when the gas is produced, the syringe will be going back. So you can measure the volumes per time, right? In seconds, time in seconds, and the volumes produced. So you have to do this. You have to wait until the volume reaches a certain line, and you have to calculate the time that it took to run this lid to a certain line, right? And you wait again until it moves to the other line, and you have to count the time that it takes to move from one line to the other, right? Right. So explain how readings can be obtained to measure the rate of above mentioned reaction. So take the CO2 volumes filled in the syringe. How do you write the syringe? Yeah. With relevant time intervals. Like 1 minute, let's say. Right. If the readings obtained at the time interval t is v, what is the expression for the rate of reaction? So the rate of reaction is volume per time, right? Volume over time, right? Right. What is the unit obtained for the rate of reaction in this instance? Volume is measured in, is it given? This should be in either millimeters or cubic centimeters. That is, if the time is measured in minutes, it should be milliliters per minute, right? Milliliters per. Mostly the syringes are measured in millimeters, and if we took the time in minutes, that will be millimeters per minute. What can be done to increase the rate of reaction? So in this one, if you put the zinc carbonate in powder form, the rate of reaction will increase. Yeah, put the zinc carbonate, ZnCO3, in powder form, right? Put it in powder form. Will increase the surface area and will increase the rate of reaction, right? Consider the chemical reaction shown below. Fe 55.8, oxygen is 16. Okay, write the balanced chemical equation for this. So ferrous 3, oxygen 4, 2. Okay, it's balanced now. And the delta H, the heat of reaction is given minus 1120. Write the balanced chemical equation for this. This is balanced now. What is the name given to the chemical process shown above? This is oxidation of iron or rusting. This is rusting or oxidation of iron. This is oxidation of iron, right? Is this process exothermic or endothermic? if this process is exothermic or endothermic. Of course, the delta H is minus, so it's exothermic, right? Exothermic. It's exothermic, right? It was observed that 23.15 gram of Fe3O4 was present in certain apparatus. Find the amount of moles formed. So Fe2O3, you had to find the molar mass M Fe2O3. So it's 55.8 into 2 plus 16 into 3. Add them all together now. Thousand 59.6. What is the mass of ferrous that reacted with oxygen? Right. What is the mass of ferrous that reacted with oxygen? So they're asking number of find the amount of moles formed. So you have to find the number of moles is M over M, right? So mass is 23.15 grams. Molar mass is 159.6 gram per mole. Dividing these two together, give you a value 23.15 divided by 159.6, 0.145, 0.145 moles is the value. This is the molar value. Find the amount of moles formed. What is the mass of that reacted with O2? Mass of, so number of moles reacted should be twice Fe3O2 because the stoichiometric ratio is 1:2. So the number of moles of O2 is twice this one. Number of moles of O2 is equal to 0.145 multiplied by 2. Right, multiplied by 2. So this multiplied by 2 is 0.290. 0.290 moles. Right, but they're asking for the mass. What is the mass of ferrous that reacted with oxygen? Hold on. The mass of ferrous. Bro, they're asking the mass of ferrous. Okay. I'm sorry, it's 3 times that. 1:1:3. So like oxygen. So it's 3 times of that. Number of moles of ferrous, I'll write ferrous. So it's 3 times this. It's 3 times this. So you have to multiply this by 3. So let's multiply this by 3. That will be 0.145 multiplied by 3. Sorry. 0.435. 435 moles. Right. So they are asking the mass. What is the mass of that reacted? So mass is mass of Fe is, we know that N equals M over M. N into M is mass. So is N into M. Number of moles is 0.435 capital M. And the molar mass of iron is 55.8. It's 55.8. So 0.435 should multiply by 55.8. 0.435 multiplied by 55.8. That is 24.273. 24.273 grams. 24.273 grams. Right. Calculate the enthalpy change, heat change that occurred when that mass reacted. So this is usually for 1 mole, right? And we found this for now 3 moles, which is 3 times of moles or 3 times of energy than this. So it should be minus 1120 kilojoule per mole. This multiplied by 3 moles because ferrous has 3 moles in it. So we found everything, like this is the mass of 3 moles of ferrous reacting, isn't it? Because number of moles of ferrous is 3 times it. So yeah, this is the mass of 3 moles of iron. So the standard heat of reaction is given for 1 mole of it. So that multiplied by 3 will give you the total energy. 30633 kilojoules of energy, this much of energy. Right. The Kirchhoff's law. Right, Kirchhoff's law are extremely important in electric circuit analysis. They are most commonly used to find the current and the potential difference in complex circuits. State Kirchhoff's second law, the voltage law. So what does Kirchhoff's second law say? It says in a closed circuit, right? In a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of electromotive forces is equal to, right? Algebraic sum of electromotive forces is equal to the voltage drop across each and every resistant, right? Which means, like, if there's a circuit like this and batteries like this, This is E1, this is E2, this is R1, this is R2. The current flowing is I. So it says the electromotive difference E1, if you take one of a turn, these two in the same direction, right? So they should be adding E1 plus E2. The electromotive sum is E1 plus E2 because they are in the same direction is equal to the voltage drop. So voltage drop through this resistor is IR1 and voltage drop through this resistor is IR2. So the electromotive force E1 plus E2 should equal to IR1 plus IR2, sum of voltage drop through the resistors. That's what the Kirchhoff's law say. Consider the circuit diagram below. Okay. Based on the above circuit, apply Kirchhoff's first law, current law, for the junction B. First law is junction B. So there should be three currents. I1 is going up, I2 is going down, so there should be a current coming here. So I3 which is coming is divided into I1 and I3. So I3 equals I2 plus I1 is the first law. Apply Kirchhoff's second law for the loop AFEB. AFEB. Okay. So the electromotive forces are E1 only. I'm going to take it to this direction, right? That's plus. So only E1 is there. So if I write it, E1 equals I3 into R2, right? And it's in the same direction. See, current is flowing in the same direction we took as plus. So E1 equals I3 R2, and what else? Even this is flowing this direction, so I1 R1 plus I1 R1. So yeah, that's it. Apply Kirchhoff's law. Hold on, where did I apply this one? Plus I1 R1. Here. On here. Right. I1 R1. Okay. What is the value of current I1? So I have to find the current I1 value. Okay, so we can apply the values to this one. Like E1 is 18. E1 is 18. I3 is 2. It's 2 amperes. R2 is 4. R2 is 4 plus I1 is, we have to find, please, hold on. Yeah, I1 we have to find out. R1 is 7. Yeah, this is I1. I don't know what I'm writing. I can simplify this one now. This is 7. Simplify this side. 24 is 8. Taking 8 to the other side, this is 10. This is 7 I1. I equals 10 over 7. I1 equals 10 over 7. That is 1 point something amperes. What is the value of current I2? What is the value of current I2? It's already given, right? No, we don't know it. So to take the current of I2, I have to apply so I have two of the currents now, I3 and I1. So we know that I3 equals I2 plus I1. I2 plus I1. So I3 is 3 amperes. Is it? Yeah, 2 amperes. We found I1 as 10/7. So I2 equals 2 minus 10/7. Which is 10/7? 1.428. So 2 minus 1.428. 428. And that is 0.572 amperes. 572 amperes, right? Apply Kirchhoff's second law for the loop BCDE, BCDE, BCDE. And you had to find E2 by applying it. So the only electromotive force there is E2. Doesn't say to find E2, but you have to find E2 because E2 is not found. So if I apply it to this direction as plus, E2 equals, it's only electromotive force in that loop, 2 amperes into 4. I'm going to write in the values, 2 into 4, right? So it's in the same direction. We took the current flowing, right? We took the flow of current to this direction, and the actual current is also flowing the same direction. So it's 2A into 4. Now this is I2 into 3 amperes. So we found I2 already, right? I2 is 0.572. It's in the same direction as well. 572 into the resistance is 3 ohms, and it's the same direction. So you have to add them. Now it's 3. Right. So this is Kirchhoff. So to find E2, 2 into 4 is 8. 0.572 into 3 is 1.176. This is 8. So E2 is actually 9.716 volts. Right. So that's it. Right. That's for the structured essay. And that's the time left for today, right? That's the time left for today. So study really hard, study really well. I'll see you guys the next week, and these are your very final days, so do not waste these minutes, because everything matters. Every point, every second, everything matters. So do your best, try to take the maximum out of it, and let's hope for the best. You'll get the best marks out of it, right? So good luck. See you.